Worst place to live, a better place to live, or about the same. This is really striking. Over half of people in Berlin and Gorham said that in 10 years the community will be a better place to live. This was in summer of 2007, so it was 15 months after the pulp mill closed. Not even close in any of the other sub-regions in Coos County. It was 24% in Lancaster and the southern part of the county said their community would be a better place. It was just a little bit above that in Colebrook in the north. And so what does this mean? I'd leave you to draw your own conclusions as Berlin residents about what people might have specifically been thinking about when over half of them said it's going to be a better place in 10 years. But I think this is just to reiterate the crucial moment that Berlin is at. And with change, this would suggest comes some optimism and comes some sort of hope about what the community can do to reinvent itself and make itself a better place to be.
That came out of this were long-term, and then there were some short-term action steps, but I want to focus immediately on the long-term themes. We know affordable access to health care is going to continue to be a high priority. We also know that aligning the revitalization of all these initiatives has to be #1 priority. So much duplication, too much money on the table, and folks, it is now time. We've got to pick what we want and work together to move forward. That was the fundamental recommendation, aligning the revitalization of initiatives. Cathy Conway is going to talk about the marketing plans through a very large initiative that has been working throughout the region, and yes, Berlin has been heavily involved in that through the Chamber of Commerce, through the community college, and a variety of other entities. Networking across all business sectors. We do a really good job at knowing who's who and what's what for individual businesses, but we don't network and connect each other. So we are beginning an initiative around that. Revitalize village centers. We know we're rural. We also know that sometimes in those rural areas, people are seeking services way out in remote regions. We need to think about that. We need to think about what our village centers look like. We need to preserve those village centers, and we need to understand the impact if individuals choose to live a little more remotely. And we need to wrestle with that. No answers, lots of questions. The wireless broadband initiative, that is, as you've been reading, is well underway with Fairpoint coming in. There's been lots of conversation about how fast can we get our broadband up. Is the wireless link system that North Country Investment Corporation is working on. Where is that? Lots of work happening around that. Berlin downtown isn't quite as specifically engaged in that conversation, except, okay, we have T1 lines coming in here, we have access for broadband. How is it going to then link to others as new business development comes in? Workforce and talent development, obviously the college is heavily involved in that conversation, but it's not just about we here at White Mountains Community College. We develop partnerships through the university system, very specifically with that and the Center for Rural Development, but also we develop individual course by course, what's nicknamed articulation if you want to get into education needs, so that students do not have to leave Berlin to get a 4-year degree. We have that now in our K-8 early education system. We're working on it in other areas. So we're trying to, again, pull those resources that already exist into the region.
It includes brand development, product development, and marketing. What do we want to be known for? The brand direction that was developed after looking at a whole series of options and putting them through a litmus test was Grand Resorts, Grand Adventure, New Hampshire Grand. And some of the marketing material, we've been starting to develop marketing material to support this brand, and these are just a couple of examples of what that might look like. Elegance on the Edge, again, looking at that whole brand theme. So then we needed to develop our brand promise. And what the brand promise that we need to deliver on is that Northern New Hampshire the land of grand resorts and grand adventures, is truly grand in every way. The message that we need to get out to visitors, residents, is that Coos County is the destination that offers the greatest variety and concentration of both extreme comfort and service and adventurous outdoor experiences in a superior natural environment.